Hello and welcome to Loose Trunks 9 Smackdown, and I am not Tugboat. As you can see, I'm the new host for Smackdown. I'm wearing a Smackdown shirt because I'm better than Tugboat. Fuck you, Tugboat. Even though I won your sock, and I'm very proud of my sock, and even though I'm on Raw as well, which doesn't really make much sense, but it doesn't matter. Of course, as always, we have a panel, so here they are, the Smackdown panel! First up is a man who's on both panels because apparently he's a privileged son of a bitch. It's Adam Bomb Machiavelli! Woo!
Go me!
How's it feel to be on your true home of Smackdown?
Well, this is the only show I really like, so yeah, I'm pretty happy about being on this one. So.
Good.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan alright?
He's alright, yeah, he's doing good, you know.
Seen him much?
We keep in contact, you know.
Yeah?
So, yeah, we're doing
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
The old baby birdie's doing well, so her first word was me, so...
As in you, your name, or
no,
just me?
me, yeah.
Just me.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's great.
So it worked out great, but I knew she was talking about me, so it was alright.
Fantastic. I'm very glad. Next up, of course, he is straight from the Rain and Calf. It is Lean Mean Wilkie.
Thank you.
How's life in the sandwich business?
Life's pretty booming in the sandwich business right now. I mean, not with all these vegans and stuff coming along, but that's for a rant maybe.
No,
but it's brilliant to be on Smackdown Live.
Yes, it is.
The best show.
The best show.
Yeah.
Finally, we have a man who cannot win a tugboat sock and a pole match. It is Dave Barrington!
I was cheated out of that. I was cheated out.
It was fair. It was fair
cheated,
game.
from what I remember.
Oh, I didn't hear the
fair
ring bell go or anything. I wasn't ready.
Fair play there, I reckon, Dave.
Does not matter. But anyway, we are here, of course, to talk about SmackDown. And we'll cut straight to the point. The last few months, SmackDown's been a bit shit. Until the last show, the one just before we recorded this, was bloody brilliant. And it opened with a hell of a segment, Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, where Shane lost his shit and just decided to beat on Kevin Owens and then get suspended as a result.
You don't talk about a man's kids.
You don't talk about a man's kids, otherwise you get beaten the fuck out of, apparently, in the world of WWE.
Although, I've never liked Shane's way of beating people up. He always throws...
It's always like...
Potato City,
It's like when he goes to fight, he's suddenly got midget's hands, and it's just...
It's like just wanking off a ghost or something. I don't know.
That's pretty much it. They've been building towards this for a while now. Like pre-SummerSlam with him being the ref for AJ... versus Kevin, which was a great match.
Yeah.
What do we think? For me, it's been very entertaining. I mean, general thoughts, Dave. You start with yourself.
I think the two work really, really well with each other, and it's been building for weeks. I mean, you can even go back to when they first did the draft. You know, when Shane was really on Raw. You know, covering just after WrestleMania. 31.
I just did not want to be there.
Sorry, not 31, 32. Sorry, 32. Sorry, yeah, WrestleMania 32.
So the shake-up,
yeah,
it was like
that
a
was
month
it.
after.
Yeah, they had a bit of tension then, and it's carried on since. It's worked really, really well, and I'm really, really excited to see what they're going to do, obviously with SmackDown going forward, and what they're going to do with Owens.
Yeah. Okay. Next week, of course, or I guess when this comes out, will be pretty much as it comes out. Vince is coming back, and he's coming to SmackDown. He's not on Raw.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Rare.
I think it's a very good sign for the storyline that Vince is getting involved.
Yeah.
Vince doesn't, really get involved with storylines that often, unless he feels like it's going to be something good. I think
it's also one of the few occasions where, I think the whole argument of focus being put too much on the management types of the show, I think it's fine because it's
Well, it's Shane, and it's just something fun for Kevin Owens to do, and then it makes him high profile still. So
It's mouth-watering
I like
for me because you get Kevin Owens on a mic against Vince McMahon more than likely.
exactly.
Yeah.
That is true. I did not actually think of that.
That's
From
gonna
that, well, it'll be
very
interesting to see what way Vince goes. If he goes with Kevin or does he go with Shane? Or,
Where do we think it's going? Because I think it's fair to say it's going to end up in a match. It's
Yeah.
freaking Shane, for God's sake. He's probably going to throw himself off a cliff.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I suppose they could do Hell in a Cell, couldn't they? Coming up.
This is what I want to ask. Do we think it's going to be a match at Hell in a Cell and Vince is going to come out next week and be like, you two are going to have a Hell in a Cell match? Or are they going to hold off for it, slow burn even more, maybe to Survivor Series, maybe even longer?
I think they will do it as a Hell in a Cell match because I look at the rest of the roster and I think who else is going to be in a Hell in a Cell match? Can I realistically see?
How are they really going to sell that pay-per-view like big time? I mean, they did it the other year, didn't they, with Brock and Taker to make it.
And that
a few
worked.
years back,
Yeah,
didn't
it worked. But I think Dave's right as well. Who else do you put in that match? I mean,
There's no really other. I mean,
From
we're
that
gonna look at the other
Nakamura.
rivals later, but at the minute, there's nothing
Well,
that
they
you
normally
say
have two.
that makes
Like
sense.
every year they do like a Hell in a Cell
Yeah,
pay-per-view.
those
There's
two,
normally
yeah.
two.
Yeah.
And you can imagine after last year's, I don't know if you'd call it a success or not. I would call it a success with the women on Raw doing a Hell in a Cell. I'd
Well,
like
they
to
don't
think
wanna Raw,
maybe you
wouldn't
put
they?
everyone
But
on SmackDown with the women doing it. I don't know.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
it's whether it makes sense. I don't like that when they just do it
Do it
because it's a
because,
gimmick.
yeah.
Because
Yes.
Hell in a
It's
Cell
got a
should always
purpose.
be that
The end of a
end.
feud.
Yeah,
Now, was it the match I want to see in a Hell in a Cell is Usos versus New Day? They'd be
yeah.
That would be
killing
sick.
it.
Yeah.
Fuck me, that'd be amazing,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We'll come back to that because we were, of course, talking about Kevin Owens. He had the match with AJ Styles. AJ Styles, of course, came out on top. He's now moving on. It seems he's moving on to a thing with Corbin. How do we feel about AJ Styles still being US title?
I love it. I think it's right at the moment because they're obviously taking him out of that title picture to do what they're doing with Jinder, and I think the end game for that is ending up with Nakamura. So I think AJ's in the right spot
Yeah.
for what, if he can't be champion at the moment because
If
he's
he
still
can't
the
be
top
the
guy.
guy, he'll be
So still do
a
that.
guy.
And he's
Some
going to
guy.
kill it as well. Like, it gives him a
Yeah,
chance
yeah,
to
no,
face a
well.
lot of new opponents. Like, I mean, Corbin could be stepping up into the bigger picture. Maybe not as much in recent weeks as we originally thought, but
Yeah.
I think it will certainly go that way. But it does give AJ a chance to go up against some of the mid card
Yeah.
guys for that title.
How do we feel about Corbin? Because he's clearly been burned.
I-
He's
I
you've
think
been
the
burned, boy. Burned. Don't go tweeting.
Burned.
Apparently.
Well, I think the whole him doing the foul cash in is completely.
It's just ruined
It's
him.
ruined him for
Yeah.
a long while. I think.
Right.
Why even give it to him if he's just going to lose it on some random SmackDown?
Just
It
to
seems
make people
pointless.
interested in a match with John
Exactly.
Cena that he
But
lost.
there's- of which he lost. He got squashed basically.
It felt like, granted, he wasn't the most squashed person on
No,
SummerSlam.
but
No.
Sorry, Rusev. But it was still like it's not great.
It's
Like
just-
he's not looking good. I mean, he's got all the jokes about being the slim fat man and
Yeah.
all
face that
that.
looks like a face. Well,
His
belly-
music's grown on me though.
Oh, I hate his
Yeah,
music.
no, it's great
No, I
on
don't
me
like his
too.
new music.
Like, hate, like.
Hate.
Yeah.
Why do you still hate it?
Oh, it's just his old music was so much better.
It was
Yeah,
better.
it
It
was-
was.
It
I
has
like the
grown on me though.
Spotlight thing.
Like, there's a couple that
Yeah.
didn't grow on me. One of them was a Raw guy who I won't mention, but let's just say he's the spawn of an Olympic gold medalist
Yeah.
and had
Yeah.
the shittest music in the
Yeah.
world.
He's rechanged that
Fighting
again
trumpets.
though.
It's better now, but we
Yeah.
won't talk about that
No,
because
no,
that's
the-
Raw,
the dirty
and we
brand.
don't want to talk about
Don't you
Raw.
talk,
No.
don't talk about Enzo. Yeah, that's fine.
Ty as well. Obviously, Corbin looks to be the way they're going forward. Ty Dinner just got a match with AJ Styles in Vegas for the US title. He's had a little
little
push,
thing,
hasn't
hasn't
he?
he?
He's got a little
That's
thing.
something.
He's gone from complete obscurity to sub-obscurity.
Only for this week, and then what happens
Yeah.
when he loses to AJ?
Yeah.
Then what? It's just because they
Yeah.
don't know what to do with him. I tell you what, let's just give him a title match. But then what? They don't know
I
what to
think
do
he's
with
always
him.
got a spot on the roster because he always gets good reactions, like just because of the whole 10 thing. But I don't think he's ever going to be anything more than a mid card.
Well, he did for a brief moment have a little combination with another person who just seems to have no direction at the moment, which is Sami Zayn.
I was going to say, he seems like a poor man's Sami Zayn.
Even though Sami Zayn's not doing
Not
anything.
in how he is
great.
as a wrestler, because I love Ty Dillinger as a wrestler. I'm just saying the way that he's been booked is like a poor man's Sami Zayn, which is poor.
I think are we talking about Sami now?
Yeah, talking about Sami, yeah.
I think they've just got nothing for him at the moment. I think they're just biding their time maybe until something else comes up, I hope, because he's one of the best wrestlers they have. It's probably AJ is number one. Then Sami Zayn, I reckon, in terms of wrestling ability. It's just there's nothing for him at the moment.
The problem with Sami is that I felt like there was a couple of weeks back, I thought he was going to get into a solid rivalry with Owens again when the whole ref thing came up and he was looking for a ref. And that for a space of about half hour, that was a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
It's like, but they've been rather so he could be the ref, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm not going to be the ref," and it just killed it.
That was it, done.
I'm pissed off with the Sami Zayn thing because here's the thing, right? He had nothing on Raw, absolutely nothing. And when he went to SmackDown, I was so excited, thinking they could do this with him or that with him, and they've just done even more, even less with him than what he was doing on Raw. And you think, come on, like.
I mean, he had that good feud with Kevin Owens on Raw, didn't he?
Yeah, but then that was it. That's the only thing.
Over a year ago, and that was
I would say we'd start a petition to get Sami Zayn a decent rivalry, but
definitely
there'd probably be like 10 people that signed it.
Like,
so.
just not like just not against Jinder, and then we have
Yeah, we'll get to Jinder, but we'll hold off on Jinder.
Yeah.
You know, he is being placed in the main event spot, so we'll give him the main event
we'll
chat.
talk about it in a bit.
Right. Okay. Another man who had disappeared for a while. He's now back post SummerSlam, and we don't know what he's doing. He's complaining about a lot of shit, but he's also probably the most interesting I've seen in a while, Mr. Dolph Ziggler.
Am I the only one that doesn't care about this whole change?
No, I second you on that.
It makes it. He's been boring for a long time.
Yeah.
This has made him more.
This
is the most interested I've been in him since WrestleMania 29.
It still didn't get me. I was like, this is just a poor attempt to try and do something.
Like,
you're just.
I get it
was
because
good. I liked
anyone
it
who's
still.
watched Loose Trunks before knows that I have said shitloads of times I'm bored of Dolph Ziggler. But this is it's got something to it. I don't know where they're gonna go, but I'm intrigued. Like watching the whole thing where he came out and did his entrances and just took the piss really out of the crowd, I thought was quite fun. But
I just feel with Ziggler, every time WWE do something with him, they then take 2 steps backwards with him. And it's just the case where it's happened so many times now for a good 3 or 4 years solidly that I agree with Wilkie. Like, I just don't care anymore because every time I do try and care, I get disappointed. And it's a shame because I actually love Ziggler. He's superb in the ring, but he just can't do anything. And
there's no character there.
There's not.
No, I put him in the same kind of bracket as Bray Wyatt for me. I know he's more, we won't talk about Bray, but that just loses too much and not really that interesting anymore, and it's just like
no one's really like,
doesn't become believable.
I suppose last year he had that pretty good storyline with the Miz. You know,
he had a great storyline with the Miz.
But that lasted a month, and then that was it. And then since then he's just been doing
the problem there was that like he eventually lost the rivalry and then he was back to square one again.
Yeah.
Like he needed really to hold the title and carry it to take that momentum with him, but he had nowhere to go with it.
I sort of feel like they've done everything they can really do with Ziggler now.
He needs,
unless he has a drastic, gimmick change in some way.
Well, they're never going to be able to change his name. He's been there too long. It's not like they can just take away his last name and just call him Dolph.
Yeah.
That is something they would definitely do.
Like they have with another man who I wasn't going to mention, but I've just remembered him, and I can't remember his fucking name. But he comes out. He was on NXT.
Aiden English.
Aiden English. Has he got rid of his name? Or is it someone else?
Well, the guy who sings, must be Aiden
He's still
English.
Aiden English, isn't he? There's
the
a guy on SmackDown, his name's gone. But
pale English dude that sings.
Fuck it, let's talk about Aiden English briefly.
He's shit, move on.
yeah, exactly that.
Beat Sami Zayn, don't like it.
We shall do just that. We're going to go on to the women of SmackDown. Coming off of SummerSlam, Natalya did something that I think for most of us was very unexpected and actually won the Women's Championship. What do we think of that?
Love it. Hate Naomi.
Yeah,
you were just
happy
she lost, weren't you?
Yeah, and I'm even happier that she's just vanished.
Isn't she
She-
injured?
to be
though? Is
fair,
she
she
injured,
has.
or- I don't know.
For a girl who basically comes out and is like, feel the glow,
Yeah,
and she
look
comes
at
out,
all
and
my
she's the
love.
only person you can see in that entire fucking arena, unless you go blind from all the lights. Literally, the girl has disappeared since SummerSlam.
Yeah, it's brilliant. isn't
Like,
it? It's really
what
good.
happened?
SmackDown's
No
been fucking
rematch.
great.
They've just moved on to
No.
Carmella. Been like, nah, fuck Naomi.
Yeah.
Was it? I read something that they only want the girls in the title picture at the moment who are the ones that are going to be on Total Divas the next season. But isn't Naomi on Total Divas as well?
From a
though?
business standpoint, it makes sense. But yeah, no. Can someone,
Isn't
any
she-
of
She
you in
is
the crowd,
injured though,
watch
isn't she?
Total Divas? Sorry.
I've got a bird. I'm proud of it. Yeah, no, Naomi's on it.
Naomi's on it,
There
right?
you go.
So
She's on there. I don't
If
know.
anything, they would end in a season 3 with the cliffhanger of will Rikishi turn up at the wedding?
All
right, there you go. I'm not sure if you can
She
hear
has to be on it for
Save that
reasons
for
we
the
all know.
Loose Trunks Total Divas special.
that. The Total Divas special coming to you soon. But yeah, they seem to have steered away very fast from the Naomi thing, and they're focusing more on the Carmella Ellsworth dynamic, which got very fucking interesting when Carmella seemingly dumped Ellsworth and then gave him a right snog and slapped him in the face. It's like he's becoming it's like he's just becoming dominated, and he's going to turn up in a leather face mask and some chains.
If Carmella did that to me, that's what I would do.
Is Ellsworth the new Goldust?
Let's hope there's a weird segment where he turns to be Gold Dust's son or something.
Yeah.
And he just comes out with a ball in his mouth. Carmella's dragging him by a chain. Being like, you stay there. Don't talk about my Money in the Bank
Carmella's
briefcase.
chinless gimp.
Like ripping out his one-piece suit, and it's just got like women's underwear underneath.
Oh, this got very weird very quickly.
Yeah.
Where do we think they're going to go with that? Are they got because it seems they're going with more Carmella, but are they just swerving us? Are we going to see a rematch with Naomi at Hell in a Cell? Or
Oh, I don't know how long Naomi's out. Does anyone know?
is Naomi actually
I know
out? Or
I think she is injured for something minor. I think that's all.
She's got a rematch next week.
she has got a rematch.
Oh, is she?
Has she?
Oh fuck! I won't
Wow,
watch
we missed
SmackDown
that
next
one.
week
So, guys, as you can tell, we don't do our job.
Well, we don't really care about Naomi that much, so.
then. Yeah, that.
All right. Well, she disappeared, and she's coming back.
She's coming back. Well, I
Just
won't
bring
watch
back the glow.
SmackDown next week then.
If I had control over the lights here, we could bring the glow right now and have a
If we
party.
brought the glow right now, I would staple my eyelids closed.
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 So close, they're going to be
They
shook
were going to be stapled shut, and then I thought closed would be a bit more effective.
They're going to be shit closed.
Yeah.
Is what they'll be.
Fuck Naomi.
To be fair,
she's athletic, though.
I would like to say I've given a lot of hate to Natalia in recent months, especially in the predictions video for SummerSlam. I lost it a little bit. I had rage, and I would just like to say now that she should be a good women's champion.
I mean, like, where's Becky?
Fucking no, don't clap. She's fucking shit. She's shit. And she likes cats. And she can wrestle, but she can't do anything else. I can't fucking stand it.
And we're back again.
Baron Corbin, just saying.
What?
That's not a woman.
She burnt Baron Corbin.
She burnt Baron Corbin.
It was amazing. She said, when you try and cash in, your cash in's going to be as successful as Baron Corbin.
She did burn
Can't
Baron
do it,
Corbin.
yeah.
Tugboat in the crowd there with a slight add-on. I forgot about that. You're gonna Cashin's gonna be as memorable as Baron Corbin's.
It was fine, but I don't know. She's just a cat lady still, isn't she?
She is just a cat lady. Great wrestler, and they had a great match as well.
They
at
did.
SummerSlam. We'll give
They
them
did.
Yeah.
that. Right, let's move on.
But yeah, no, I still miss Becky. Where's Becky?
Yeah.
Oh fuck
More
yeah! Where's Becky? Charlotte makes sense, and Ric Flair, thankfully, is getting well. So Ric Flair. So hopefully we'll see Charlotte back soon. But yeah, like Charlotte makes sense. Becky.
I miss
Gone.
her. She's good.
Yeah, she's been on TV a lot. Give her a couple of weeks off. Why not?
Yeah.
that's about it.
I guess that's a good thing though. Like, surely if you've got nothing for them, I'd rather
Take 'em off TV.
Take them off
Like,
TV
instead of
than
putting her in shit
pointless
against, I don't know,
for
someone
no
else.
reason. Yeah. So I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So let's talk about the tag teams. Now the main tag team rivalry we've been seeing over the last couple of months is, of course, Usos New Day, who apparently can't catch a break when it comes to main pay-per-view shows.
No.
Because they had the best match of
Yeah.
the night,
2 pay-per-views
On the
in a row.
yeah,
and
on the
they were on the
pre-show.
kickoff.
Yeah.
How?
don't
I think
know
they.
Yeah.
Well, it's just SummerSlam was clearly just names over matches, wasn't it? Because they put Randy Orton,
versus Rusev.
and
They had
John
to have
Cena
Randy
and
on
Baron
the
Corbin.
main card.
Granted, though, that was like 20 seconds long.
Well, yeah, but
So they weren't that. So in reality, they weren't going to fit.
weren't gonna
But
fit.
like, when you've got
anyway.
like two teams that work as well as they do and put on as good matches,
Such
why
a
not put it
shame.
on the main show? Get
Yeah.
the crowd going. Halfway through, the pay.
Several pay-per-views in a row, they steal the show, and even years ago,
top of the
back when it
second hour.
yeah,
it's,
back
get
when it was
crowd
the
going.
old Usos as well, years ago, they had a fucking cracking match then. Like they just don't have a bad match, but they can't catch a break.
The question I've got though is: are they damaging both teams by having them fight against each other week in and week out?
If
And
it's
is
this
it damaging
good-
like the division as well?
If it's this good, no, for me.
In terms
think
of
they
damaging
should.
them, I agree with Wilkie. I think no, because their match has been so good. I'm more than happy to watch it
I
again.
mean,
They got a
like,
street
yeah.
fight
Both
at
of them,
Vegas.
both teams come out so good no matter who wins as well. So I've not been.
I mean, in terms of like the story of the feud, I don't really care about the story that much because there isn't really a big story there. But the matches have been so good, I don't care. So.
Let's talk about the other tag teams.
Yeah.
So Gable is probably the first one that comes to mind for me. He's now with Shelton Benjamin, who's pretty much Jason Jordan 2.0.
Yeah. You can totally see Vince just going, well.
Well,
Put him back with-
this
put him-
guy's black as
Put him
well.
back with that tag guy. Vince, we put him on
Exactly.
Raw. He's Kurt Angle's son now.
It
Well,
does have a
put him
hint
with
of-
Shelton Benjamin.
It's either
He's
just a
not been
perfect
in the
fit.
company for 10 years. But get him back.
It's either just a perfect fit, or there is just a hint of just racial, like.
Yeah, Vince.
Oh,
there's
no.
no hint. Just
I mean, like. I'm a big fan of Shelton Benjamin being back.
Yeah,
he's a
It's,
great
it's
wrestler.
awesome that he's back. Granted,
Yeah.
we're skirting the line here very much, so but there you are. I mean, it's a good team. It should be great.
come out as like Shelton Jordan in a week, and then in 2 weeks it'll just be Jason Jordan.
Yeah. Fashion Police. They're still stuck with backstage segments. They
Yeah.
didn't do one this week.
No.
Oh, this past week.
It's still
they
there
came
though,
back.
isn't it? What, like season 2 of the Fashion Files?
Yeah, they're doing
It's there,
season 2,
so-
and then they had a
Yeah.
week off. So
It's still there. They should start doing stuff with them, but not that like wacky bad match stuff that they were doing.
No,
before.
I mean, like the whole Fashion Files backstage stuff was great, but
It's amazing.
but they can still put on good matches.
yeah,
so,
and their Fashion File segments are giving other teams a chance to just be featured. Ascension is probably the key one, who for me are
Who
hilarious.
still just do.
Then again, I kind of want to see them as their Southpaw regional wrestling
So, those ones.
versions.
They might as well at this point.
Top Guns.
Because,
We can't use Top Guns.
Yeah.
Like,
I still haven't watched that. I need to.
You need to
I've
watch
been
it.
meaning to watch
if
it.
you
for
haven't
months.
watched it, watch
it's
Southpaw.
good.
It's fantastic. As I say, Usos, New Day. Just quickly back to them. They're having a street fight in Vegas. What do we think?
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, be great.
It always
Who's
is.
gonna win? It's like the one prediction we can make.
Usos.
Usos.
I'm saying New Day.
Yeah, New Day.
Usos.
Is it
I
for the
think
titles?
Usos as well. It's for the
Yeah,
title.
it's us,
Yeah.
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 I think Usos.
They,
as
I
well.
don't know.
Cool. Right. We've not got a huge amount of time left of the show, but we have got time to fit in a brand new segment, which really is appropriate for this show. Because SmackDown, as we know in the past couple of months, pretty much post WrestleMania, has been a pile of wank.
Wank.
That was weak. I mean, I'll
quite like
take it. I'll take it. But it
was a
has
pile
been
of
a
wank.
pile of wank.
Small pile of wank.
Small pile of wank.
Exactly.
Slight improvements here or there. So with that in mind, we'd like to introduce to you Callum Main with Bad Writing.
Writing for Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal. Right. Racial stereotype. Racial stereotype. Bollywood boys get involved. He wins. They'll love that. Copy that. That's a keeper. What we do for the next one? Jinder Mahal goes out and meets the fans. Decides he needs to meet more. Goes to India. Lex Express style. Vince loved the Lex Express. He's out there doing. No, they'll never go for that. Just copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Bollywood boys involved more. Punjabi prison. Done. I'm so good at my job. Lunch.
Hey! Callum Main there with Bad Writing. He'll be back next
That
month.
was
with-
really, really bad. Right.
Writing.
It was. I was going to say speaking of bad writing, but I think that might be a bit harsh. We'll call it in the main event of the show because it's the WWE title picture. and it's Jinder Mahal. Are you having a laugh? He's been champ now for several months.
Too long.
Way too long.
How do we feel it's been overall?
I think the Jinder experiment has failed. Move on.
I wouldn't say it's failed, but I think they need to stop with because they've done the same finish on some title matches.
No, they've copied and pasted every single match that he's had since he became champion, and
that's a fair point.
And that's been it. They put a Punjabi prison over it, and it was still shit.
I'll tell you what the problem is. I don't think it's Jinder. I think what they should have done is get the Singh brothers wrestling and actually get them in like 6-man tag matches and things like that. I think that would have helped
mixed
them.
up a bit more.
Yeah, I think that would have perhaps helped them a bit more. It's not as if they can't do it; they've done it before. But
plus, it would legitimise them a bit more as like the heel using it to win.
I mean, I suppose they're sort of just like the Indian, like J&J Security.
They are exactly that at the moment.
Pretty much, they need to drop the whole. He needs the Singh brothers to help win a match.
I mean, fair enough. His actual finisher is quite protected at the moment because I don't think anyone's kicked. I think Cena kick out of one? Did he? Oh no, did Orton kick out of his finisher once?
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, can't remember.
But
maybe once.
If I'm completely honest,
protected.
when it comes to Orton, I don't really care.
Sorry,
mate.
I'm just saying. I mean, like they're at least trying to make Jinder look strong by having his finisher.
They are strong, but it's not even that great a finisher. It's a fucking Cobra Clutch slam,
and he messes it up a lot. So.
Yeah, I don't know,
but it hasn't worked at all for me. Like Adam says,
I was gonna say because I'm gonna mention like that it's gonna be Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder at Hell in a Cell. I was going to mention whether it makes sense for it to be in a Hell in a Cell match, but just thinking it actually, if we don't want the Singh brothers to be involved, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but Punjabi prison, Singh brothers still involved.
Yeah, true, but this is a ceiling.
Yeah, but there's still a door.
Yeah, true. They'll probably still get involved.
Get in the door. Of course, they're going to get involved.
Does it make sense at all to even have it in a Hell in a Cell match? Because that's supposed to be a violent match to end rivalries, and this has really only just got started.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I think they would. I think they will just because if it's the pay per view Hell in a Cell, they can't not have the main title not being a Hell in a Cell.
You say that, but last year it was only not last year. I think it was a few years ago when you had Undertaker versus Lesnar. That wasn't for a title, and that was
but that's a different beast.
True,
isn't it?
But you don't have to have it for the title now.
Yeah,
fair enough. I mean, there's not much really else to say. Like, that's the problem. The US title picture and Kevin Owens Shane is more interesting than the WWE title.
I mean, I hope Nakamura gets the title eventually because
he can
move on to much better things.
I feel like I don't want him to get it off of Jinder.
Yeah,
I feel like there needs to be I feel like AJ needs to come in to get it, and then Shinsuke can have a match with AJ.
It should have been against an Orton who had the title, or against a Cena who had the title.
Because the only problem I feel with Shinsuke winning it off of Jinder is that I don't feel like it's going to be great, and I just feel like it's going to fuel Tugboat's hate. Which is just
wrong. It's not going to be wrong. Yeah, but then once they have the AJ Nakamura match, which is inevitably coming, if Tugboat liked wrestling in any kind of way, he'd appreciate that match.
He would.
And all would be forgotten.
Everyone will, so it'll be fine. So.
Probably.
But I personally think that Nakamura takes the title off of Jinder and then holds it until WrestleMania.
Ooh, and then that's when he should have his match against AJ.
That's when they do the AJ
That
match.
would be sick.
Please don't waste
if they're holding
the
it till
Nakamura AJ
then,
match.
that would be amazing.
That,
Imagine if they just wasted it on SmackDown.
Exactly. Or just do a random ass SmackDown for 15 minutes and that's it.
Yeah, it's just randomly at Las Vegas next week. And I'm like, well, shit.
I just want to see Nakamura knock all three heads off.
There's not much else to say, really. I mean, Orton almost got back in the title picture. He did not. It does mean that Randy Orton managed to come off of a SummerSlam match, win, bring back his momentum, to just lose again and have no momentum. So I think it's fair to say we need to hold a quick moment of silence for the career of Rusev, who lost to Orton and is now just dead.
He came out on a tank at WrestleMania.
He was
in
a whole tank. He's with Lana. Lana was in a bikini on some fucking hay bales in Bulgaria recently.
I was really fair. I thought that was going to be a porn. I got so excited. Literally, I got lube out, butter out, and just.
I mean, like that.
Butter.
She was literally milking a cow. You don't get closer to porn, Dave.
Oh my god.
I wanked over it.
Final mention. because I almost forgot all about it, and we were really out of time. JBL is gone. He's gone. I mean, to be fair, like he gets a lot of flack, mainly for the whole Marrow development that happened. But
and he's just an ignorant cunt.
He does. Every show though, one of JBL's little heel commentary comments will pop me like that.
Like a one-off good thing.
Aside from that, he's fucking terrible, and I'm glad he's gone.
And he's gone. Yeah. Yes, Dave, quickly.
The only thing I would say is that I'm a little bit upset Corey Graves is gone. I love Corey Graves. I think he's the best one out of all of them. But I thought they were going to bring over Renee Young, purely because obviously if they're getting this whole women's revolution, then that would have been obviously great to put over. And she's the only woman in WWE who I actually listen to, like, and actually think, you actually know your business. She's a bit like the Gabby Logan of
Gabby Logan. Only UK people will get that. Yes. I gotta cut you off.
I'm not a big fan of Gabby Logan.
We are out of time, so thank you very much for watching. Big thank you to Dave Wilkie and Adam Baum here. Big round of applause for them.
Yeah, us.
Thank you very much for watching Smackdown. We will be back with NXT tomorrow, or if you're watching this on YouTube at a completely different time, then it will just be in a playlist like there, probably. I don't know how the internets work, but some shit like that. Thank you very much for watching. It's the new Smackdown! Fuck! We forgot about Bobby Roode. What do you think?
Glorious!